Well, here we are. It's almost the middle of June, and this is very appropriate because it is Friday, June 13th. And let's look at where the market really is and what is it trying to tell us. Hey there, and welcome to issue 469 of the Guelph Weekly Sales Report. I'm Paul Fitzpatrick, broker of record with Keller Williams Home Group Realty. And let's dig into the market analysis for the city of Guelph. These are the trends that I'm identifying between January and May of this year. Let's dive into that, the key market highlights, and I've included some charts and graphs down below for you to take a look at. But the critical thing to look at is right now, there's just over 600 active listings in the residential real estate market in Guelph. The average price for those listings is just under $800,000. The median sales price is $777,000. There's been 688 transactions so far this year, and we're seeing 99% list price or sale price to list price ratio. Average days on market, 29. The median days on market is 18. Now, the surprising information from all this is there's a real discrepancy of almost $98,000 between the average list price and the average sales price. And yet the sales price to list price ratio is at 99%. So the disconnect here is that either sellers are still very optimistic that the market's going to go up, or there's bad data being used or old data being used to price out listings, and that's the reason we've got this big discrepancy. So what this trend is showing is that we're pricing things as if it were still 2022. And that's one of the reasons why days on market is starting to bounce up. Buyers are educated. They've been better educated, I think, than the sellers have been in this market, and they're patiently waiting. They're prepared to pay 99 cents on the dollar for something that's well priced, well presented, and shows well. That proves out in the numbers because properties are moving very, very quickly if it's priced right, shows well, and presented properly. There is a bigger amount of the listing inventory that is now just sitting on the sides. We've almost got 4 months of listing inventory in the city of Guelph. And this is very reminiscent of the early 1990s, the last great recession, as I call it, when I first started in my career in real estate, that we had, in a lot of cases, 12 to 24 listings available for every buyer that was out there. And we're starting to see a bit of this reflected in today's market. So the buyers are being smart about things. They're waiting. They're identifying which are the good properties. They are negotiating hard on those properties if they're coming from a position of strength, meaning that they've got their financing looked after, they don't have properties to sell, and they're prepared to meet the seller's terms in terms of closings and that sort of thing. Active listings, we're seeing the market, as I said, inventory levels are building. The 500 to 600,000 price range is the most popular right now. There's about 100 of those listings available. The vast majority of those are condominium products, whether that's apartments, townhouses, or stacked townhouse product. That's where the bulk of that is. Between 600 and 700, it's still more than 50% condo. 700 to 800,000 is where the residential detached properties start showing up and are more than half of that market segment. So what does that tell us? It tells us the sweet spot is under $900,000. Those are the properties that are moving the fastest when it comes to being either semi-detached, detached, or freehold properties. Over $1 million, there's a ton of inventory. Now I say ton, and it's still under 100 listings, but that's a lot for that price point in this marketplace. So really what we're dealing with is a couple of things. For sellers, pricing is critical. Question your realtor on what kind of numbers they're suggesting. Are they using 6-month-old data or are they using 30-day-old data? One thing I've always cautioned my sellers over the years is that question the data, ask for those comparables, because sometimes agents will tell you what you want to hear because they want to get their sign on your lawn, get you under contract. Then they're going to market to you for pricing the property right versus marketing to the buyers out there and getting them interested in your property. Again, be cautious about anchoring your pricing strategy in today's market based on old data. Listings that are under 800K, that are clean, staged properly, priced well, are going to fly off the shelves. And in fact, some of them are still even drawing multiple offers. Now, for buyers, timing is everything, especially if you're in that highly competitive under $900,000 price point. If you're a first-time buyer under $700,000, you have a ton of inventory to pick from. You have a ton of new product to pick from. There's incentives all over the place. You need to be working with a realtor that knows what's happening in the new market as well as the resale market and what's the best opportunity for you. And one of the things that we've really been coaching our agents on, especially for buyers, is put an offer in with a deal sheet or a term sheet. Hear me out on this. Most offers get submitted to the listing agent with a minimal amount of background information on who the buyer is, what their intentions are, what their capabilities are. Why should you as the seller consider this offer? Rarely do we see that kind of information. It's just the offer's emailed in, and as a listing agent, we're expected to figure it out and then talk to our sellers. So smart, savvy buyers and agents today are making sure that the sellers understand that here are the sweet things about our offer, why it should be acceptable to you. Here's the background that says that I'm going to show up on the closing day with the money and I'm capable of closing things. So if you want to get the best deal possible, you need to be able to work with somebody that knows the market and more importantly, knows how to present your offer. And I'm calling this market is one that is price sensitive to start, and two, is one that will reward those who are prepared to dig and look under turn over all the stones in order to get the best deal possible. So that's it for this week. Thank you for tuning in. Check out the link down below. Join our VIP program. That's where we every month bring information like this, and we reward our past and present clients with an opportunity to win gift cards and big prizes like barbecues and travel vouchers and that sort of thing. It's our way of saying thank you for being part of our team, and thank you for allowing us to be your